Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you a simple turret and drone build. This is probably very good for the new players to create if this is the first build you want to make in the end game, I guess. This can be used in legendary and any open world content really. You can take this anywhere. So let me show you the pieces. Okay, so on this build I'm running one piece wave and wear. It gives you 10% skill damage. And on here I have a skill tier, skill haste, skill damage with a skill haste gear mod. So everything for the gear mods is all skill haste. All the gear mods are skill haste and all the attributes are skill haste, skill damage, just to let you know. Okay, for the backpack, I'm running the named Hana U backpack called Force Multiplier. As you can see, I have two pieces of this on the build. One piece gives you skill haste, the second piece gives you 10% skill damage. And on here I have perfect combined arms. So shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. Okay, so when you shoot an enemy, you increase your skill damage for your turret and your drone. There are other talents you can use. Okay, so let me show you the other talents you can use on this build. You could use a memento. Okay, with memento, when you're at full stacks, you get 30% skill efficiency. So skill efficiency is very powerful because it gives you 30% skill damage, 30% skill haste, 30% repair skills, 30% status effect, and so forth. Also, you get the 3 core attributes, which you get the weapon damage for your capacitor, okay? And you get, I think, 30% weapon damage and 3% armor regen as well, I think. Okay, so those are the long-term buffs, which is 6 minutes. The only problem is you have to pick up stacks, but honestly, I don't see any issue picking any stacks up. So that's another thing you can use on this build instead of the backpack I'm using. Okay, I tend to swap. Honestly, they're all really good talents, or you can put that exotic there instead. The memento. The other talent you can use is tech support. So skill kills increase total skill damage by 25% for 20 seconds. If you're the type of person that doesn't like shooting often and just want your skills to do the job, you can just have tech support. Okay, so either tech support, the memento backpack, or perfect combined arms. Okay, there is a perfect talent for perfect tech support, but it's on a Alpine. It's on a I forgot what brand it's called, but the first attribute is repair skills, which is useless. You're not healing anyone on the build, so just use the normal version of it. For the rest of the build, I'm using 3 pieces of Empress International, so it gives you skill health, skill damage, and 10% skill efficiency. It's the same with fully stacked memento. So for fully stacked memento, you get 30% skill efficiency. With 3-piece Empress, you get 10% skill efficiency. So that's 10% skill haste, 10% skill damage, 10% repair skills, 10% status effect. And yeah, so when you have Empress with a memento here on the backpack, you basically get 40% skill efficiency. So the memento is actually very powerful with this build. But if you don't have the memento, this is still good enough. This is still really good if you don't like picking up stacks all the time. Okay, so on the chest piece, I have an Empress here with the talent called Kinetic Momentum. Kinetic Momentum is a really good talent. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill, lost when on cooldown. So when both of your skills are activated, or when one skill is on and one is holstered, you basically get 30% skill damage that goes towards your turret and goes towards your drone. Okay, but when one is on cooldown, you're only dealing 15% skill damage. So that's the only downside, but it is a very good talent. Another talent you can use on here is Glass Cannon. So the good thing about Glass Cannon is there's no stacks involved. So if one goes on cooldown, one of your skills, you don't have to worry about losing that 15%. But also the damage output for Glass Cannon goes towards your drone and turret and your weapon. So you get 30%, 25% for the normal Glass Cannon, you get 25% damage towards your weapon as well, which is really good. So it amplifies your drone, your skills, and your weapons. So with kinetic momentum, it doesn't do that, but it gives you survivability because with a glass cannon, you take double damage from the enemies. I have on the holster an Empress, skill damage, skill haste, and this is the second piece of the Hanayu, which is skill haste, skill damage. Okay. I don't like using the waveform just because I feel like with the waveform, this is the waveform for all the new players. You'll see a lot of people running this on their builds. Generates a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks. After 10 seconds at the cap, the stacks transfer to your other skill. The process then repeats ad infinitum. The thing I don't like about this is that sometimes when you're playing, your skill is just doing some random thing, you know, and it might not be doing any damage at all. I've experienced that so many times, especially in Legendary, where it's not shooting and the damage stack is onto that skill, and it's basically useless. You're basically doing less damage. Also, if the talent moves onto that skill and it's on cooldown, it's again wasted. So I'd rather not worry about that and have both my skills do constant damage. You know, even if one is messed up, at least I know the other skill is still doing the damage. Okay, so that's the reasons I don't like running waveform, honestly. But if you like it, then you know you can run it there. A lot of people do run waveform here, so you can run 3-piece Empress with a waveform on here and one Wyvern and one Hanayu. So that's another way you can run this build. For my weapons, I'm running capacitor. Capacitor is really good on skill build. It's definitely much better than test subject, in my opinion. I think capacitor, I don't know why people use test subject. I honestly don't think it's that great. Even since it first came out, I don't think it's that great. But with the capacitor, shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage. After 5 seconds, stacks decay 1 per second. Okay, so when you're basically stacking, and then your skills gain more damage. Okay, when you're at full stack, which is really good. And also for each skill tier, gain 7.5% weapon damage. So imagine you have 6 skill tiers here, 6 times 7.5, that's the weapon damage you'll get. I have this at expertise 20, so I will deal more damage. My total damage number in here is probably going to be higher than what yours look like. My secondary is the named rifle called the Harmony. So this has perfectly in sync. So this is the same talent on the assault rifle called test subject. Hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So when I use this weapon, if I run out of ammo and my skills are activated, shooting an enemy, and I have this gun out and I'm shooting with this gun, your skills will do double damage and you'll do double damage with your weapons. For my pistol, I'm running the card 45. It's very good to run a pistol with InSync, so I have InSync on here, just in case you're playing with 5 directives, because some directives, have a directive that you don't start with any ammo unless you kill with a skill. Kill with your pistol, and it's always good to have this, because then at least you can do double damage with your pistol and you can do double damage with your skills. Okay, I'm running, actually one thing about this build is that I'm actually wasting a skill tier. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to change one of the core attributes to a weapon damage attribute, or if you like an armor core, I'd highly recommend a weapon damage attribute, because I'm running the technician specialization, so that gives you an extra skill tier already. So I'm actually wasting 1 skill tier. Okay, so you want to put in a 15% weapon damage on one of the attributes, on one of the core attributes. Okay, So yeah, that's one of the good things about the specialization. So you can basically do more damage with your weapon. Okay. I like to run the technician because it gives you 12% damage to drones, skill proxies, and robotics. So this is very good on legendary or in Black Tusk invaded missions. Alright, so armor kits also apply to all friendly skill proximities within 10 meters. So when you heal yourself, your skills also get the healing. You also get 50% bonus armor while aiming a skill, so that's really useful. Party members within 5 meters of your deployed and undisrupted skills are immune to shock and disruption, so that's really useful. You also get 10% skill damage. Okay, so that's also really important, so your skills can do more damage. If you're on a healer build, you can get 10% skill healing. Okay, so that is pretty much the build. Very simple. It's very easy to make. I'm sure if you did a few pet go missions, you can get practically all of these builds. Just to let you know again, have one weapon damage core. I've been very lazy to change it because I just thought it looks really nice when it's all yellows. So yeah, it's completely up to you. It's completely up to you. Remember, there's a few talents you can choose here. You can put memento here, perfect combined arms, or tech support. On the chest piece, you can have kinetic momentum or glass cannon. You can run the waveform here if you want to. So there's actually quite a few ways, but just remember to put a weapon damage on the core attribute. So yeah. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Peace.